said to me a few weeks ago that you don't think the fight lasts very long.
Potentially doesn't last very long. I think it depends. I just think, again, it depends on how the opponent approaches the fight. I think people underestimate how good of a counter-punch Anthony Joshua is. I said this before the Ngannou fight. People think, yeah, stick it on him. You get knocked out.
How do you rate Dubois' power?
Yeah, I think he's right up there. Right up there. He's a dangerous fighter. He's in and amongst, when you speak to people, the heaviest handed. He's always in and amongst it. So, yeah, fully aware of the threat of the physicality that he brings.
But do you foresee him troubling Joshua at all in this fight?
It's heavyweight boxing. Anything can happen, but I think the potential is there for a devastating performance from AJ. But I say that we're treating Daniel Dubois with full respect, just like we did Francis Ngannou.
Not long to find out.
The problem is, I think there's such a small room for error when fighting Anthony Joshua. There's such small room for error, and I think there's a couple of things that have clicked with him that has meant that, if you make a mistake, that one mistake could cost you dearly. And there's not that many fighters in the heavyweight division that have that. Not to say it's what I mean by one punch, I mean in terms of IQ. I can set a trap, and if you fall for that trap, that could be it.
And those are the words of Ben Davison, as he pretty much states, not necessarily warns. I mean, you may see it as a warning. Of course, the title may say warning, but I mean, it's pretty much, to my understanding from Ben Davison, a given. You make one mistake. If you make one mistake against AJ, he didn't want to come out, Ben Davison, and just say like, hey, some things tweaked or clicked with him, while training with me. He just said some things. I think some things have clicked with AJ. And in the trap that he sets, if you fall for it, if you make the mistake and fall for it, that's all it's going to take. And let me counterpunch, okay? If we've seen anything about Francis Ngannou, we've seen what happened in the Ngannou fight. We've seen Francis Ngannou get blasted out very early. I mean, has been dropped the first time in his career. I mean, UFC or boxing. This was the first time ever. This was historic because of that. And a lot of people need to understand, like, listen, you're talking about a Danny Garcia, a Canelo Alvarez, a David Tua, once Joe Joyce, guys that have never tasted the canvas, that has tasted the canvas, and that was Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou got hit with a shot that totally had him shook, because he was like, where in Hades did this punch come from? Where did it come from? It came from Anthony Joshua. It came from a well-timed right hand. It came from counter-punching ability. Okay? Counter-punching is the most dangerous type of punch to ever take, because it's you giving your shot and not expecting to get hit back. You're expecting to be the attacker that gets attacked. Okay? Bars. And I think, if anything with AJ, and we've learned anything about Francis Ngannou, is that he is not indestructible, but nobody in the heavyweight division is. Okay? No one. Not Wilder, not Fury, not Usyk, not Dubois, not Joyce. Okay? Not anyone. Okay? Definitely not Joshua. But understand, yes, Daniel Dubois can hit. Yes, he can punch. Yes, he can throw combinations. Yes, we've seen aggressiveness. Yes, he's coming forward. Yes, he has momentum. Yes, he's getting the confidence back. We've seen all this about Daniel Dubois. However, according to Ben Davison, if he makes one mistake, it's over. Yeah, it's over. Because we've already seen it. We've already seen how AJ can take you out. Okay? And it doesn't take long, and it doesn't take 4 or 5 rounds. It may take 1. It's just that one time. And it's basically how Dubois ends up fighting Anthony. How does he want to take it? Where does he want to bring it to? That's what it's about. That's what Ben Davison is saying. He's just saying, like, listen, this is what this is about, okay? This is all this is about right here. How he wants to take it and play it. Because we've already seen it happen. So who is Danny Dubois to be any type of exception to the rule? He's not. Nobody is. You know what I mean? You have to have one hellified chin. Or no chin. Or just don't get hit in order to be affected by AJ. So that's Ben Davison's take on Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua. You guys tell me what you think about his take. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!